For the day I break these chains, I'm bound for the life of the simple things.
Here at the tile-based murals, and they got a half an old Corvette embedded in the wall here, or abutted to the wall, I should say. This is pretty cool. If anybody didn't know exactly where the highway ran from, it ran from Chicago into Springfield, Illinois, down into St. Louis, across here to Joplin, which is right where we are right now. Then it cuts through just the edge of Kansas, and then a big long stretch through the length of Oklahoma, all the way into Amarillo. This right here, we showed the map of where we were going to go until we're up to this point, and I'm going to sit down and plan a little bit what we plan to see through this part of it as well. That's the end of Route 66 in Missouri for us. We will be picking Route 66 back up in Oklahoma, but right now we're headed south to Fayetteville, Arkansas. We're gonna go ahead and drop the RV off there, and then we're gonna hop in the car and head over to Rush Historic District. There's a very well preserved, if you want to call it preserved, ghost town in Rush, Arkansas that I've always kind of wanted to see. It was an old mining town, so I'm pretty excited about doing that, and we'll talk to you all later. Catalina is not really feeling like she wants to go over and see the Rush Historic District, which is a ghost town, an old mining town, and it's something that I've really wanted to do for a long time. So she's going to go ahead and stay here in Fayetteville, where we crashed last night, and I'm going to be heading out there on my own. So I'm going to be rolling solo today. I've had an interest in this ghost town for some time. I think it was the first trip I ever made to California, and everybody was talking about ghost towns, and we were looking up the California Gold Rush, looking for gold rush towns that had been abandoned, and this one in Arkansas actually came up. It's not a gold rush town, it was a zinc rush town during World War II. So what I think is really cool is this specific one, nobody has done anything to it since it was finally abandoned. So nobody's torn any structures down, nobody's tried to rebuild them up from what I read online. And so it should be kind of cool seeing how nature has retaken it, and it should almost be like a post-apocalyptic film sort of settings. I'm just kind of curious, you know, everybody's a little bit different. Like some of us, we really enjoy the rain. Other of us, it puts us in a bad mood. Some of us just find it inconvenient. I'm just curious who out there likes it when it rains, and who out there would prefer that it didn't. And where do you guys live? I'm curious to see about, you know, the climates and stuff and everything like that. So please, down there in the comments section, let me know how you feel about rain, and let me know around where you live. Well, I just rolled into a little mountain pass town called Alpena here in Arkansas. It's got a population of 392 people. Still has some of the cool buildings here. Maybe I can get them out over here. So cool. I love what we used to do with real rock instead of just concrete or man-made materials. I'm not sure if it's as sturdy, but I do notice that those buildings tend to last, so I imagine they were some of the most sturdy structures out there, probably every bit as sturdy, if not more, than what is put out there today. It's kind of missed that era, you know, and all the craftsmanship that went into the masonry on them. You know, I'm starting to think I'm a real old soul. It seems like all the things that I like the best tend to be all made far before I was ever born. It's kind of funny. Entering into the Rush Historical District. Now we're down in here. And so here's some structures here that were left and abandoned. And my understanding is back in the like 50s is when these were abandoned. Saw a sign there that said you can't enter them, so they were all fenced off, and it said it was a federal offense. Well, it looks like that's about as far as I get to go in. Well, that's not too high. Let's go ahead and try to go over it here. Looks like the little river cuts right over the road here. It just said that it's unpassable in high water, which I believe. Thank God I'm doing this late summer. Let's see what else we got over here. Not quite sure what that is. Have to come back over and check out those signs there. Well, I came down here to see a historic ghost town, and this is even called the Rush Historic District. But what I found is just a few little structures. I'm still gonna go wander through there. There may be more that I'm just missing, but what I have actually found is a really gorgeous nature area. Probably some great fishing, huh? An area that's probably got some great fishing, and I'm gonna look around. I think this would be an awesome place to be out camping. See down there, there's a little creek that runs in, and I think up here forward is going to be the river. Man, this would be a great place to come out canoeing. Just kind of canoeing or kayaking. Fishing might be kind of good too. Yeah, I see some minnows in there. I don't know if you can see them, but there's some minnows right over here. Water's really nice and clear right here where it enters into the river. Nice little find. I saw another cross over the creek, a road crossing over the creek further up. I think I'm gonna go drive over there, see if there's any camping allowed down here. This would be such an awesome place to just come out and camp. Here's the second crossing. I'm gonna try to putt across here. It looks shallow enough. It's a great little spot to just chill out though right here. I knew I'd be able to find it, so there is some campground down here. There is camping. It's going good, man. This is an awesome, is it free camping down here?
Yeah.
Awesome. This is a nice little spot for camping.
Yeah, it is.
Especially for free, right?
I heard that shit.
These are some awesome spots for camping, guys. And then you just got the river right over here to go and just inner tube down or whatever you feel like doing. So cool. Thought I was coming to see a ghost town, and I found a amazing free camping site location with some good fishing area, some great rafting or some great canoeing or kayaking. Maybe even do some inner tube floating. This camping spot, we got potable water. Nice thing to have at a campsite. And then over here, we got some vault toilets, it looks like. According to this here, there's a trail here that I can go ahead and take and go around and check out the mines, and it looks like there's a couple of little spots, like there's a mill here. It says White Eagle Mill here, and it looks like there's a Morning Star Mill structure that might still be around. I think these are also representing something to the effect of the old ghost town buildings. So I'm gonna go ahead and do at least the interpretive loop and see if there's anything worth checking out. Looks like I was right, so I'm about ready to start on the trail here, and we got some structures here from an old photo. We'll see what's left. I'm standing at the remnants of somebody's heartbreak. This here is a smelter that was built with the hopes to be melting down the ore here to get the silver from it. Well, it turned out that the prospectors here that built this ended up being wrong about it, and they found out that what they had was zinc. After having spent all the money on the structures that they built out here and the purchase of the prospect claim, they ended up completely broke. And there's an old story that's on the board over here saying that they actually tried to sell their prospect claim here for a can of oysters. Now that's broke. This little billboard here telling a little bit about the story of the structure that's across the way here, back through the trees and across the creek over here. That's the structure that I saw on my way in, and it turns out that was the general store. It was also where you picked up your stamps and sent out your mail and everything else. The owner of it lived in the house next door. I'll go and check that out a little bit more here when I get off of the trail. Okay, what do we got here? We have here is the old blacksmith shop. And I guess there was a warehouse at one point right next to it, connected on the other side here. And it looks like there's still some walls based for it. Yeah, sort of. It's kind of hard to imagine it. There are some foundation piers sitting here. That's probably exactly where the warehouse was, right there. That's kind of cool. We have the foundations left of what was the mine office and also the company store. Now, I understand that stores were going to be needed here, and this was a place that probably wasn't a whole lot of development that wasn't directly to the mines, you know. But at the same time, company stores like that, generally they extended credit in a way to help trap people, and absolutely had higher costs of what the goods were back into town. But of course, people took advantage of the easy credit and kind of ended up stuck to the mines. I've read quite a bit in history about situations like that. According to the board here, the mine stood right here in front of us. So let's go over here and peek out forward. Looks like there's several of the pillars over here. I should be at least able to get that with the drone. I'll definitely be flying over right here so that we can see what those look like. Okay, it's a little difficult to see here, but right here in front of me, and it kind of stretches down the embankment here with a lot of vines and stuff covering it, some fallen logs, and it runs all the way up against the rock wall back in here. And what that is in front of me is the old smokestack to the mine mill over here. That was the location where they crushed the ore that came out of the mine and harvest the zinc from it. This was the debris location where they kind of tossed out all of the remnants of the ore that had been processed. Well, just as I started to go fly up the hill here to take some photos and some scenery with the drone, the park rangers came running over and told me that I guess it's not allowed in national parks at all anymore. They told me that about 1.5 years ago, they believe, is when it was passed, and so now you're not allowed to fly them in any of the national parks or national monuments or anything like that, which I had no clue. So I'm kind of a little bummed about that. Don't get to take any footage. Hopefully on my way back there'll be some spots where I can fly it out over a lookout or something and get some cool scenes for myself and you guys. I found a little park that was called Crooked Creek Access, which is the actual creek that was running through the Rush historical area. So I figured I'd pull off in this little park, send up the drone, get a little bit of footage, pretend like I was getting it over there in the Russia Historical District. Hopefully I get some pretty stuff here too. Doesn't look like there'll be too much more drone action. Skies look pretty gray forward, and it's been raining. Darn rain, always ruining the plans. Just kidding. All right, all done with the day. Back here at the RV. Had a really good time checking all that out. I'm gonna try to get the GPS coordinates for everybody because I think that was a really great place. Get out there, connect with people, live your big story.
Make sure you do something every single day to reduce road suck.
Peace, guys.
Peace and love.
Without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We come along